Do you guys think Donald Trump, with him wanting to take control of Gaza, do you think that will simplify or amplify the war?
If I was an American, I would never vote for Trump. As an Israeli, I would give him 10 votes.
Any future in Gaza is better than the status quo.
We have enough Palestinians here. We should kick them all out.
I'm Arabian, I'm Palestinian. I live here. I can't tell you anything.
Today I am here in Israel, and today I'll be asking people in Israel about Trump taking Gaza. Most recently, Donald Trump has said he's going to be taking Gaza, referring to it as a big real estate site and saying that the U.S. will own it.
And think of it as a big real estate site. And the United States is going to own it.
Israel and Hamas have been in constant conflict for very many years now. However, since the attacks on October 7th, the conflict has gotten worse and the war has been going on for a very long time, as there are still very many people being held hostage in Gaza. And now Gaza has essentially turned into rubble from the war and does not look good from the released footage. In this video, I will be speaking with a wide range of people here in Israel, both Israelis and as many Palestinians as possible, to try and get a wide range of opinions and to get better understanding of this war and to get their take on Donald Trump and the United States potentially taking Gaza. And to make a video like this is not easy, as war is a super complicated subject to talk about and very, very sad, especially in a country that's currently in war. I hope I can conduct these interviews with the utmost respect for both Israelis, Palestinians, and for people all across the world, as millions upon millions of lives have been affected from this war. It's not easy to talk about, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys could give this video a like, help it get to 10,000 likes, and also go ahead and subscribe to the channel as well. We're on a mission to get to 500,000 subscribers. And now let's go talk to people here in Israel. What do you think is going to happen now in Israel, in Gaza, especially now that Donald Trump is talking about taking over the Gaza Strip?
What do you think Donald Trump is going to do? Nobody knows, not even Donald. So,
do you trust Donald Trump when he says that he's going to take it over? Or do you think that's just kind of propaganda or one of his negotiation tactics?
If I was an American, I would never vote for Trump. As an Israeli, I would give him 10 votes. He's great for us. He shows power. Nobody wants to mess with him. Hamas is not going to f with him. So the hostages that was allegedly not going to come back, they changed their minds, they're going to give them back. And I hope even if he's not going to do everything he says, it's going to be a little bit better for us.
What do you guys think about Donald Trump saying he's going to take Gaza?
Donald Trump is the king. There is only one king in the world, and this is God. Donald Trump is not a king, but it's very good for us.
So you guys support Donald Trump in his idea of taking Gaza?
Of course. Yes, of course. We need to destroy Gaza.
And why do you believe you guys should destroy Gaza?
Because there is not good. The world is good, and this is not good. All right, they want
innocent people there.
They want only murder and to kill and to destroy. So for what do we need this?
Would you rather have Israel, the United States, or Hamas in control of Gaza?
The United States control Gaza.
What do you think about Donald Trump saying he wants to take over Gaza?
He will never do it. And I don't think that he could take 2 million people and put it somewhere else.
Where would the 2 million people go in Gaza if the United States were to take over Gaza?
I don't know. To USA, maybe.
Where do you think all the Palestinians would go if he does take over Gaza?
I don't know. Maybe Sahara Desert? I don't know.
Would Israel accept the Palestinians into Israel?
We have enough Palestinians here. We should kick them all out.
Really? So you don't support any Palestinians being in Israel?
We have enough, and we should put them out. Those who are here have to go out.
Really? And why should those that are here go out?
Because this is the land of the Almighty and the land of Israel. And He chosen us to have the land. And this is why this land is only for the Jewish people. That's all. This is the Torah said. And they know it.
And what do you and other Jewish people here think about Donald Trump?
You have the power of the Almighty. The kings of the all nation doesn't have a power from themselves. The power they have is from above. We pray that He should do good things. It's not in His power. It's the power of the Almighty.
As this video progresses, we'll speak with a wide range of people, from Israelis at a hostage release rally, a few Palestinians that were willing to speak on camera. At the very end of this video, we'll speak with one more Orthodox Jew in Jerusalem who gives a very controversial take on this issue. And somebody like me coming from the United States, it can be kind of complicated to understand what's actually happening here in the Middle East. Donald Trump said if he takes over the Gaza Strip, there would be peace throughout the Middle East. Is that true or no?
I would say that's one of the pieces of the puzzle. He's trying to solve it in a different way. You understand? He's trying to solve it in a different way. And new ideas are very, very welcome, because the old ideas, of course, don't work at all, as we've seen. and they're quite dangerous actually. So I think that, look, if you have somebody trying to genocide a small minority, of course you want to get them away. Okay, you'd like them to organize themselves in a different fashion.
What do you think about what's going on here in Israel and Gaza, and do you think the United States should take control of the Gaza Strip?
My own personal view would be that the cycle seems to perpetuate. And who is going to actually solve that problem? If you look at the news at the moment, it looks like the Arab nations are trying to come up with something which, the local neighbouring countries, perhaps that would be a better thing, but something needs to be done.
And do you think Donald Trump and the United States would bring more peace to the Middle East if they were to take control of Gaza?
I think that's like asking how long's a piece of string.
Are all three of you guys in the military right now?
Yes.
And do you guys think Donald Trump, with him wanting to take control of Gaza, do you think that will simplify or amplify the war?
Actually, I think it's going to be good for us. I think Gaza, it's made a lot of troubles for our country, and now that Trump going to take over it's going to be good for us. No more headache.
Have any of you three had to kill Hamas?
הוא שאל כאילו אם אחד מאיתנו הרג חמאס.
No.
You can't say?
No.
And Hamas, they do not have outfits or uniforms. Does that make them a lot harder to attack?
Of course.
What do you think about Donald Trump saying he wants to take over Gaza?
כל מה שטראמפ יעשה, אנחנו מצדדים בו, רוצים מאוד להצליח. הפתרון הכי טוב מבחינתנו כעם יהודי וכמדינת ישראל זה שלא יישאר בעזה זכר. עזה שתהיה ממש מגרש חנייה. זה מה שאנחנו רוצים.
And why do you think Donald Trump now says that he wants to take over the Gaza Strip?
Why he wants to take over the Gaza Strip? Wow. I don't know what's going on inside Donald Trump's mind.
Do you think it's a good or bad idea?
It's very hard to say because there is no simple solution to the Gaza Strip.
Do you think the hostages would have ever been released underneath Joe Biden or Kamala Harris?
No, I don't think.
And why do you think it took so long for somebody like Donald Trump to come in to get the hostages released?
Because he wants to take the Nobel Prize, maybe.
How safe is it here in Israel right now?
Very safe. I think it's more safe than anywhere in the world.
And now Donald Trump is saying that he wants to take over Gaza. What do you think about that?
I think it's probably the best solution.
Really? And what makes you think that's the best solution?
Because Israel cannot keep Gaza.
But would you support Israel and letting in Palestinians into Israel?
I will support anything that the government will decide.
Mm-hmm. And do you trust your president, Netanyahu?
Yes, 100%.
And now recently Donald Trump has said that he wants to take over Gaza.
Yes.
Do you support him in that idea?
Yes.
They call this the parliament when they all are sitting here at the park. Yeah. And do you think it's a good idea if Donald Trump takes the Gaza Strip?
Yeah, I think so. It's a good idea.
How do you think Donald Trump will take over the Gaza Strip?
In English, you can say, when the money talk, bullshit walk. That's the name of the game. And Donald Trump got a lot of money. There's a lot of money in America. And he can do it.
And do you also support the idea of Donald Trump taking the Gaza Strip like your friends right here?
No.
Why not?
This is their own country too.
Do you support a two-state solution or one-state solution?
Two.
What do you think about what's going on with Israel, the United States, and Hamas?
United States and Hamas? United States is not a part of what happened here.
Do you think the United States...
They are not living here. We are living here. We have two problems. We have Hamas problem and we have Gaza Strip problem. Everybody say genocide. If they have genocide, how come there are 2 million since 1950, let's say? They're supposed to be 100. So if you do genocide, they're not supposed to be 2 million now. So we need to think about that.
Theoretically, say Donald Trump does somehow take the Gaza Strip, where do you think the 2 million people go?
They're not supposed to go. Do you want to go from your house? They're not supposed to go. This is theirs. Leave them there. Take Hamas. I don't know what you're going to do with him, and this is it.
Recently, Donald Trump's been talking, saying he's going to take over Gaza. Would that be a good or bad thing for the Middle East, for Israel, and for the people inside of Gaza?
I think any future in Gaza is better than the status quo, which is that Hamas is the government of Gaza, and the policy of the Hamas government of Gaza is that Israel should be destroyed. So any type of creative solution that will see Hamas not as the government of Gaza and that will see every hostage come home is something we should at least listen to. If you look at Gaza, there's 2 million people in Gaza. And according to the United Nations Relief and Works Agency, UNRWA, 1.58 million of the people of Gaza are registered as refugees from the war in 1948. So the identity of most of the people of Gaza is that Gaza is not their home. That's why they're mad. That's why the October 7th massacre happened. Hamas wants to invade Israel, conquer Israel, and turn back the clock to 1948. So now that President Trump said people in Gaza should live somewhere else, it caused people to react and say, well, actually Gaza is their home. And that's correct. Gaza is the home of the people who live in Gaza, and the people who live in Gaza need to make peace with Israel rather than war with Israel. So I'm hoping that people will react to President Trump's proposal by saying maybe a counter-proposal, which is that the people of Gaza should live in Gaza, stay in Gaza, and end their claims against Israel, and live in peace with Israel. That's the best solution. And if they don't say this, if they continue to have a Hamas government that declares war against Israel, then the consequences are going to be continued military action, and we'd rather not see the war, we'd rather see peace, we'd rather see the hostages home, we'd rather live as good neighbors, but we can't begin to rebuild Gaza until the Hamas government is not in power anymore.
Do you think Donald Trump would be successful in taking Gaza?
I don't think Donald Trump is proposing that he take over Gaza. Right now, Gaza is governed by Hamas, which still has a military that is willing to fight. So Hamas is still willing to fight. Israel has been fighting Hamas for 16 months. Hamas remains in power. So Donald Trump is not suggesting that the United States military come and help finish the job for Israel. I don't think President Trump is interested in more fighting a war on Israel's behalf with American soldiers. I think he's interested in helping come up with a solution that is non-violent, that gives people in Gaza the option. Do you want to leave Gaza? You should have the option to leave Gaza if you want to leave Gaza. Do you want to immigrate somewhere else? I think there are many countries around the world that consider themselves friends of the Palestinian people, even countries that have accused Israel of genocide. Well, those countries should open their doors to people who want to leave. But what President Trump wants to do with Gaza after this fact is, maybe we can discuss it at the time, but right now Hamas is the government of Gaza. Hamas is willing to fight, and if any military gets too close to the Hamas terrorists who are holding the hostages, then the hostages will be killed. So we're in a very difficult situation.
A lot of people do say that Israel has committed a genocide on the Palestinian people. You're pro-Israeli, obviously. What's your message to them?
I think Israel's military actions in Gaza are the most obvious self-defensive military actions in the history of military actions. The communities inside Israel that Hamas invaded on October 7th are walking distance from where Hamas started. The distances are very small. Hamas invaded Israel on October 7th with genocidal intent. Hamas's goal was the genocide of the people of Israel. And Israel's goal is to not be genocided, and we cannot live in such a short distance, walking distance, between our own homes and a Hamas terrorist army that's in charge in Gaza. So it is a completely legitimate military action to stop Hamas, to overthrow Hamas, to have a new government in Gaza. And once we understand step one, that it is completely legitimate for Israel to operate in Gaza, to fight Hamas, now we need to understand what is the battlefield that Hamas built. Hamas turned urban landscapes in Gaza into military positions.
As far as the war goes right now, you guys do have a deal with Hamas for the hostage release, correct?
Yes.
Do you think that Donald Trump is jeopardizing the hostages with him saying he wants to take over the Gaza Strip?
Actually, no. I believe he is bringing a different approach because of the lack of trust in the Hamas. I am open to try other avenues. When I look at Trump, actually, even with Mexico, he came in a very bullying way, right? And why? And I thought to myself, when they asked nicely, they did nothing, right? But when he threatened with with the taxes, they sent 10,000 troops to the borders. And he comes without the emotional baggage that the Israeli people has. And so he's less blinded by emotions. And so I'm hoping that it will bring to different results.
Did you guys see any improvements when Joe Biden was president here in Israel?
Don't get me started about talking about Joe Biden administration, because I feel there was a lot of duplicity, a gap between words and actions. At least with Trump, I don't agree with everything he stands for, but he is true to his words. So I have much more trust in Donald Trump compared to Biden. He projects a lot of strength and clarity, which Biden was not so much.
I'm here outside one of the gatherings they have for the hostages, as the hostage was just released today. 3 hostages were released. I'm here with this man. He has an American flag on his shirt, and he says, I have a message for Trump. I don't speak English very well, but I have it written right here, and he's going to read it right now. What's your message to Donald Trump?
Israel is playing it safe, but Trump is putting pressure on us. Who is right? The solution is freedom now for the hostage. Trump is strong and intelligent. Ask him to remove this pollution from us. The whole world is having trouble breathing.
Trump good or bad?
Very good, very good. I like it.
So how many Israelis are still being held hostage in Gaza?
We still have 73, out of which presumed alive are 20, and the rest of our bodies, and we should bring all of them home.
Before Donald Trump was elected in the United States, did you guys see any progress with the hostages and with the ceasefire here in Israel?
Let's remember that President Biden arrived here like 2 or 3 days after, without being called upon. He stationed a couple of carrier groups around here, and days 50 to 55, as far as I recall, following the Black Saturday, there were like 80 or 100 hostages released. 10 a day. The reason that we are delayed until now, until Donald Trump came to power, is as simple as you look at it. The current government of Israel. That's all. We could have done a deal of all of them for all of them at the same time. The only reason that it didn't materialize is because Prime Minister Netanyahu decided to delay it on a weekly basis with 3 each week. Now you can logically understand why he wants to sustain and maintain power.
Do you guys trust the Israeli government? Do you guys trust your Prime Minister Netanyahu?
No, I don't trust him. I don't like the way that he's using to do whatever he's doing. He's thinking only about himself and about his secure, and he's not doing really for the country and for the people here in Israel.
Donald Trump has said he's going to take the Gaza Strip. Do you think that would be a good idea for the United States to control Gaza?
I think that everyone that will control Gaza, it's better than what it's going now there. Because in the time that Hamas is controlling Gaza, they took everything, they built only the tunnels. They built the tunnels with a lot of money, And the Hamas people, if you're going and watch where they are living and how they are living in big houses, and they have everything, whatever they want, yeah? And the most of the people, the Gaza people, they are very poor and very armed because they are not getting what is coming in.
So essentially all the money that is being taken into Gaza is now being used for the leaders of Hamas to continue to build these tunnels and to build new houses for them as well?
Exactly. If they took this money and build houses and schools for the children and whatever people need to live a good, nice life, because they have a very, very beautiful place where Gaza is staying, yeah? They could do their paradise, but they are not doing it because Hamas don't leave them to do this. They don't get the money. All the money is going to Hamas, and Hamas control everything.
We're here at the beach here in Tel Aviv. We have the Mediterranean Sea, beautiful beach. And so when Donald Trump does say that if they were to rebuild Gaza, they have prime real estate because of the location where they're at, there are absolute beautiful beaches, and if you were just to go another 50 miles south, that is where Gaza's at. Obviously, with what's going on in Gaza, the buildings have been completely destroyed, but they do have very nice beach property. So maybe that's what Donald Trump is referring to when he talks about having good real estate where they could build something. So it could make an interesting place in Gaza if the United States and if other countries like Saudi Arabia were also to invest into Gaza to try to rebuild it and make it a good place like here in Tel Aviv where it's very pretty. And right now we're here at the beach. It's a beautiful beach, and then 50 miles south is Gaza. Right now Donald Trump's currently talking about taking over Gaza. Do you think that would be a good idea for Donald Trump to take Gaza?
Yeah. For me, like, if we don't have Gaza, it's better for everyone. It's something else that we don't need to worry about. People will stop thinking about we are doing something wrong when we are not, so yeah.
So do you think if Donald Trump and the United States were to take over the Gaza Strip, do you think that would amplify the war or calm the war?
Yes, it will amplify the war because there's a lot of civilians there that want to live there peacefully. Maybe it will be for a good, because the Hamas are doing stuff that wrong, very wrong. Maybe if they would get rid of Hamas, it will be better. But for the civilians that live there, I think it's going to be bad for them. But that's my opinion from my perspective of view.
Do you think it'd be a good idea or a bad idea for Donald Trump in the United States to take control of Gaza?
I'm not ready for that because I'm Arabian, I'm Palestinian, I live here. I can't tell you anything.
So do you believe in a one-state solution or a two-state solution?
Maybe two states. I believe we can.
Any message you'd like to give to Donald Trump?
We can live together because we can.
Good or bad idea for Trump to take Gaza?
No, no. I am Palestinian.
What do Palestinians think?
זה בלגן, קטסטרופה.
Do you ever feel like there's conflict between the Jewish and the Muslims here?
For me, I did not feel this thing. I'm here from 2004, and I did not feel this thing between Jewish and Islam and Christian. We live together. We want a peace. We want to live in peace. We want to work. We want to help each other. That's what we want.
Do you think with Donald Trump saying he wants to take over the Gaza Strip, do you think that will cause more chaos or bring peace?
From my opinion, no. It's not a good idea. The Palestinians know to live in their countries, and they don't someone from outside to tell them what they do or they leave their houses. They can rebuild it. They can live there. They can do anything by themselves, and we can help them. Also in this country, they can help each other. So I don't think that we need the United States to take responsibility about Gaza. They can take her own responsibility.
What do you guys think right now about Donald Trump saying he wants to take Gaza?
Oh, it's a complicated issue to talk about. We should think about a creative solution for that problem. And he gave some.
Because the United States has never said anything like that. It was kind of just random that he said that. And now a lot of people are thinking,
time to take action. Maybe it's time to take action. To say something about that. It's not a solution to all the time put it aside. Maybe it will give us some solution. Not that specific. But he gave something and put it on the table. It's something. I see it as a positive.
Do you think it'd be a good idea or a bad idea for the United States to take control of Gaza?
It's a good idea. If the United States will control the Gaza, it will be better for Israelis. I guess it will be peace because of the United States in the borders.
Okay, so you think if the United States were to take control of the Gaza border, take control of Gaza, there'd be more peace in Israel and throughout the Middle East?
Yeah, it will be peace because it's Trump. He wants the peace, and if the United States controls it, it will be peace.
What do you think about Donald Trump wanting to take over the Gaza Strip?
I think it is a mad concept, but it's change. Hopefully we'll go for the better, whether it's that plan or some other plan. But the fact that it's switching gears and everyone's now thinking of what will be a sustainable solution is something that we need to strive for.
Yeah, because it is interesting because it's something that's never been brought up and you kind of just throw it out there and now everyone else is thinking these new ideas that they hadn't ever thought of before. And do you think that's what the Middle East needs, is new ideas?
It definitely needs a catalyst for change. If Trump is it, hopefully we'll turn out for the better.
What do you think about Donald Trump saying he's going to take Gaza?
I think it's for sure the right thing to wipe out Gaza, and I think it's coming a little bit to wake the Jews up.
And so do you think it'd be a good idea for the United States and for Donald Trump to take Gaza?
I think the right thing is that the Jews should take Gaza, and we could see that Donald Trump didn't do whatever he wanted to do because we didn't let him. But I think he's coming to wake us up, and we are even less strong than Donald Trump, and we Jews, and we still have mercy on our enemies, and it's not the right thing to do because we don't want another 7th of October.
Do the Jews here in Israel support Donald Trump?
A lot of Jews support, and there's also, for our sadness, there's also a lot of Jews that are mistaken and saying that they're also human and they should be respected. And
So do you not think they should be respected?
I don't think whoever wants to kill me should be respected, no.
As you can tell, this is a very polarizing topic from the conversations that we had inside this video. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing, giving this video a like, and if you'd like to support the channel directly, consider becoming a member and help support the channel as we are traveling across the world to make these videos. This is Nick, and I will see you next video.